right now on Hot Pursuit. Don't make us have to turn this car around. Some cops are always right on target. And talk about the world's worst speed bump. In Jackson, Georgia, the driver up ahead has the good sense to signal before passing on the left. But the way he passes on the right makes no sense whatsoever. The driver is a suspected drug runner, and running from the police is the only thing on his mind right now. Maybe that's why he's all over the place, totally ignoring the rules of the road. He's also ignoring the safety of everyone else on the highway, recklessly scraping between two giant trucks. The suspect has slipped out of sight with a dangerous maneuver, and the police need to find him to regain control of this situation. There he is. He can run, but he can't hide. He's still a danger to everyone on the road, so the cops trail cautiously behind. Another patrol car joins the chase, which briefly jumps off the highway, only to jump back on almost immediately. The cops have had enough. It's time to move in. If at first you don't succeed, try the pit maneuver again. The suspect crashes into the median and then hurdles across 3 lanes of traffic. It looks like he's been stopped cold, but he isn't about to give up yet. He takes off into the forest. Run, Forrest, run. No surprise, he's faster in his car than he is on foot. He's quickly apprehended. This racing drug runner gave the cops a run for their money. But one perfectly executed pit maneuver put an end to this marathon. Over in Macon, Georgia, Sergeant Billy Boney pulls over a driver who's been clocked 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. It's a routine stop, but Sergeant Boney has gotten a look at the driver and knows he should keep his distance.
Step back here, please. Step back here, please. See your driver's license, please.
The muscle man looks like he'd do well in a wrestling ring, so the Sarge is being extra careful.
Shut your door. Stand right around here for me, please.
Excuse me?
Stand right around here for me, please.
Excuse me?
I say stand right there for me, please, sir. Where's your driver's license, please?
I can't find it.
Oh, you can't find them. I just checked you at 76 and a 55, sir. So how come I stopped you? Why are you going so fast?
Why am I going so fast?
Yeah.
No, I was just trying to get home.
10-4. Don't put your hand in your pocket, please. You ain't got to do all that. Just don't put your hand in your pocket, please.
He seems to know the routine, and that tells Sergeant Boney this guy has wrestled with the law before.
I say do not put your hand in your pocket. Are you hard of hearing or what?
Oh, just tell me what's happening.
How much you had to drink tonight?
Huh?
Stand around that way. Stand around that way. Stop. You get your ass around in front of that car. Put your hands on the hood. Put your hands on the hood. I got something here for you, man. You better cool it. 10D1.
Sergeant Boney calls in for backup.
10D1, 29 right away.
Looks like he'll need it.
Stop. 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 Get on the ground. Get down on the ground. Get down on the ground. Get on the ground.
This guy hasn't listened to one thing yet, and he isn't about to start now.
Stop! Stop!
Suddenly, it's a roadside rumble as the guy sends Sergeant Boney over the railing. He's been thrown out of the ring, but the smackdown continues. It's not a fair fight, and there's no ref to call it off. Looking more like a mud wrestler, the suspect jumps back into his car, leaving Sergeant Boney dazed and defeated.
1091 control.
1091.
I'm in a... Help me. Get somebody down here to help me.
Thankfully, he isn't severely injured. 30 seconds later, the brave officer is up for another round. Less than a mile up the road, his fellow officers have nabbed the heavyweight.
Control, we got him up here, 10-3.
This hulking motorist was ready to rumble. He may have pinned an officer, but in the end, he lost the match. Coming up on Hot Pursuit, when a driver decides to back things up, a cop gets all turned around. And a drunk biker gets a quick lesson. In the battle of car versus motorcycle, the car always wins. The only thing more stupid than being drunk on 4 wheels? Being drunk on 2. Guy on this motorcycle runs a red light in front of Officer Todd Royval. Officer Royval spins around. His night just got a lot more interesting.
Got a DUI motorcycle. He just about hit me.
Continue to respond.
237, he's all over the road.
He's driving all over the road now, but Officer Royval is hoping to keep this guy from getting splattered all over the road. Not one for obeying traffic laws, the guy does an illegal U-turn.
Just turn around, we're gonna go southbound.
But the officer is right on him. When he attempts another U-turn, Officer Royval seizes the opportunity to end the chase. 2 tons of steel are no match for 2 tiny wheels.
Get on the ground, get on the whip, okay? Put your hands on your back. Put your hands on your back, right now. 237, I got him in custody. Sorry, man. How'd that go? I was just driving back to Cleveland, man. You about killed me and yourself. Sorry, I'm real sorry. How much you had to drink? About 5 or 6 beers. That's more than that. Get up.
Safely cuffed, now safely frisked.
You got anything on you that's gonna poke me or cut me? No, hell no. No, I'm not wallet down. Man, I've drunk a little bit, that's it. You drunk a lot of bit? No, not a lot of bit.
Actually, he's had 2 times the legal limit.
Sorry, man.
Here's a new excuse, color blindness.
The green? The light was green. The light wasn't green. Yes, it was on my side. Me, it was green for me. Okay.
This motorcyclist was riding high, but one little push from the police brought him right back down to earth. It's a beautiful day in Garland, Texas, and Officer Rekus Jones has pulled over 25-year-old Herman Nixon. When the officer asked him to turn over his ID, he turned and ran. Now Nixon is leading Officer Jones on a foot race around his '85 Oldsmobile. Suddenly, Nixon leaps back into his car, but the officer is right on his tail and isn't about to let him get away. The cop tries to get at the man through the car's open window, but he doesn't have a lot of leverage. Officer Jones manages to get the door open, but getting this guy out will be another story altogether. If the suspect won't come out, he'll just have to go in. But the suspect decides to demonstrate just who's in the driver's seat. Bystanders rush to the cop's aid. One even risks serious injury, narrowly avoiding getting run over by the out-of-control car. Soon enough, he's back on his feet, able to join the others chasing the car. A woman jumps into her pickup and grabs her phone to help the cop by calling more cops. But before long, the officer takes control and stops the suspect from getting away. Thankfully, the officer wasn't hurt, although the same can't be said for his shoes. Coming up on Hot Pursuit, 1 thief, 1 cop, 4 tires, and 5 bullets. You do the math. And this driver goes above and beyond the call of duty. In Oak Ridge, Texas, the police catch a robber in the act, stealing from a cell phone store. The officer decides to deliver a message.
Hey, hands up! Hands up! Put your hands up!
After filling the crook's tire with lead, Officer Straight starts pursuing the thief.
Pursuit, 45 southbound.
The police are lagging behind, but not for long, thanks to all the bullets in this suspect's tires. That's the guy right up ahead, pretending that everything's under control.
I shot at his left rear wheel. There's no way he's gonna make it too far.
The criminal is now wanted for robbery, avoiding arrest, hey, and maybe even driving while talking on a cell phone. Now it's time to just sit back and wait for the thief's tire to fully deflate. Hey, buddy, why don't you use one of those stolen phones to call AAA? The suspect weaves around traffic, hoping to get some distance between himself and the cops. But finally, he starts riding on his rims and he slows down. Looks like the chase is over. But think again. He jumps the median. Obviously, his stolen phones are worth more to him than his car. Why else would he leave it in drive? He was later apprehended by Officer Straight, who found him with the phones and a gun. This cop decided to deliver a message to a suspect loud and clear. Can you hear me now? But unfortunately for the crook, none of his phones will get service in prison. In Delhi Township, Ohio, 20-year-old Kristen Hetzer is leading the police on a wild chase. She's old enough to drive, but not old enough to drink. Not that drunk driving is legal at any age. So when the cops pulled her over, she took off. As she drives around a big right-hand bend at high speeds, she loses control of the car. It looks as if the cops will be taking her in. But Kristen is either the best or the luckiest drunk driver in the world. The cops keep up the chase. Her speed would be dangerous no matter where she was. But on these narrow roads, she'll need all the luck in the world to get away unscratched. She gets tired of twisting through back roads and heads onto the highway. But on this narrow access road, she's more likely to find a collision than an on-ramp. Suddenly, it looks like she has a flat. She pulls over, and the cops move in. She's not done yet. Making sure to grab her purse, she takes off. With officer after officer in pursuit, she doesn't stand a chance. She's apprehended, and when she's taken away, one of the officers is left holding the bag. Literally. Because once she's put in the back of a police cruiser, she pulls the ultimate escape act. This video is taken from the front seat of the stolen police car, now being driven by Officer Kristen herself. The skinny girl slipped off her cuffs, got in the front seat, and took off. Kristen is now leading the police on the second chase of the night. They're on I-75, leaving Ohio for northern Kentucky. Kristen decides to get off. Now that she's over state lines, maybe she thinks she can get away. But she gets a little homesick because as the cops close in, she turns back towards the highway. This time she runs out of luck. The police car is too much for her to handle.
Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Let me see your hands! Let me see your hands! Let me see your hands! David 32, I got one at gunpoint here. Kyle's Lane, 75. Keep your hands where I can see them! Keep your hands up!
You all right? Need help?
Yeah, I need help.
As a random driver stops to help, just imagine what he must be thinking. Why is a policeman pointing his gun at his own
Keep your
car?
hands up. Get out, get on the ground. Get on the ground.
I'm on the ground.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Lay down.
This time, the officer makes sure those cuffs are on nice and tight. They say youth is all about learning from your mistakes. But Kristen Hetzer made the same mistake twice.
Get on the ground.
Coming up on Hot Pursuit, even a suspect should wear their seatbelt. And this guy's riding high. They say that alcohol lowers inhibitions. Police in Oak Ridge, Texas are finding that out firsthand.
You want it? You got it. Can I mention something?
She's looking for a little small talk. This woman must think she's still chatting men up at the bar. No such luck. These officers are arresting her for driving under the influence.
You hurt my nose.
Gee, that's too bad. The officer puts the pedal to the metal. Better get her to the station fast, or all those drinks she's had will wind up all over the back seat. And this woman is experienced in going fast.
I have not had one in years.
That line might work on singles, but not on professionals like Officer Tess.
Your man has given what I've been and if he hasn't on fast.
The officer just ignored her, which is probably what happened to her at the bar, too. It's the middle of winter in Farmington Hills, Michigan, and the roads are extremely icy. Losing control in conditions like this could be a lethal mistake. The car on the right is all turned around, and the officer creeps up slowly to investigate. But before he can get there, like a movie stunt, the black car rides right over the top of the white one. Only these aren't professionals, just incredibly lucky drivers. The man getting out of the car has literally run over another driver and gets out to see what he's done. These two are lucky to be alive, so they comfort each other. The officer comes over to check things out. Now, that's a nice group hug. The two men walk the distraught woman to warmth and safety, practically ice skating as they make their way down the slippery highway. Well, things could have been worse. It could have been warmer, and she could have been driving a convertible.